second here. There we go. This is Geek News Central. My name is Todd Cochran, and the stories that leads the show. NASA. Are they hiding aliens? How about Amazon becoming your bank? Or how about getting meal kits at Walmart? And will ultimately robots replace all fast food jobs? Hey, that and much, much more today. I want to welcome you to episode 1263 of the Geek News Central podcast for Monday, March 5th. This show is sponsored in part by GoDaddy.com and listeners just like you. Great deals from GoDaddy can be found at geeknewscentral.com/GoDaddy. Of course, you can support this show today at geeknewscentral.com/insider or simply paypal.me/geeknews. You can pick up Ohana gear at cafepress.com/Ohana store. Hey, I want to give everyone a warm welcome. And of course, all the longtime listeners and viewers of the show, thank you for being here. Those of you that are part of the Ohana. And of course, if you're brand new to the show, I want to welcome you as well. And I want to encourage you to take time and visit geeknewscentral.com, where you're going to find lots of great content. We're actually now back to our regularly scheduled content. We have finished up all of the CES content, more of that in a few minutes. But definitely get over and get subscribed to the show. You'll find how to subscribe right on the right-hand column of the website. You can either subscribe via Apple Podcast on your Android podcasting app, via email on Google Play, on Stitcher. Of course, you can listen to the show on TuneIn, or you can just use the standard RSS feed that is podcast ready. So definitely get over to geeknewscentral.com, and while you're on the website, get signed up for the newsletter. You'll find the link to that a little bit further down the website. It's super critical that you do, because every time after the show is completed and I post the show, I send out basically an email with everything that's contained in the show notes. That way you have that directly in your inbox. You can archive that and never miss a single episode reminder and or all of the great content that's on the website. So this is the thing to do as a brand new listener. If you're an existing listener and haven't done that, we want you, of course, to visit and subscribe. Of course, you can visit live.geeknewscentral.com while we're live at basically starting about 8 p.m. Hawaiian Standard Time every Monday and Thursday night. If you've got comments on today's show, it's real simple to reach out to me. All you can do is start by going on Twitter and drop me a line at Geek News, or you can email me here, geeknews@gmail.com. Those are two great ways to get connected with me. If you want to hook up with our Ohana in our Slack channel, we had a hilarious link to a video today, and that one of the Slack Ohana members posted that was hilarious. So if you're not part of our Slack channel, send me an email. I'll get you added. I'll send you an invite. You can hang out with us and chit-chat and add commentary from time to time. Find out what happens behind the veil of our Slack channel. Of course, you can follow me on Google Plus or on Facebook, just searching for my name. You can watch this show on the Roku via the Tech Podcast channel, or on the Apple TV just by subscribing to the Geek News Central podcast video version. You can listen on the Amazon Echo by telling that device and other devices like Google Home, or if you have a Microsoft device, to play the podcast Geek News Central using the appropriate keyword. If you are if you're so inclined, the team at Blueberry put together a new skill. It's called MyCast. So if you go to your Amazon settings, matter of fact, if you go over to powerpresspodcast.com, there's a blog post on how you can add the MyCast skill to your Amazon device, and you can basically pay this podcast through that device as well. The only difference over there, you just basically have to say play Geek News Central audio. That gets you all connected up there as well. So lots of ways to listen to the show. Partner shows include No Better Than Average with Jacob and Jeff, the Gadget Professor, Mr. Don Bain. he almost lost his domain. Had a little bit of a panic and had to pay a penalty to get it back. He had forgotten to renew. So the Gadget Professor was almost Gadget Professor lists from his .com. And of course, we've got the Pro Gear site written by the GNC team. We've got the new media show, which I co-host with Mr. Rob Greenlee, and the Podcast Legend show, which I guess at this point is almost considered pod faded. It's been about a year since I had the latest episode. But this show, of course, is sponsored by the longest running continuous sponsor of a podcast known to man in the podcasting space, and that's our good friends over at GoDaddy.com. And to be honest with you, have not gotten my numbers for February yet. I'm hoping to have them tomorrow. So, but that doesn't stop. You guys can still support GoDaddy in helping me pay off all my bills from February for my travel to Disneyland, Universal Studios. Yes, I know, but the credit card bills have started to gulp. So anyway, your ongoing support of this sponsor is greatly appreciated, not because I went to Universal Studios, but because you love me as a podcaster. So make sure you take time to get over to geeknewscentral.com/GoDaddy and get connected up with all my promo codes, whether it be 30% off a new product purchase, whether 99cent.com. That's a code you can use one time only. Or $1 a month economy hosting with a free domain, $1 a month managed WordPress hosting. Again, this is all for the first year with a free domain. $12 get you going with a hosting account. Everything you need to get up and get online. $12 is the cost to start, and the domain name costs $8.49 retail. Okay, so what you're really getting there is $3.50 is what your hosting's costing you for a year. All right, so this is a great deal. So definitely check those two codes out at geeknewscentral.com/GoDaddy. Of course, if you're a business owner, 1 month free trial of GoDaddy website builder, your choice of personal, business, or business plus plans. So check all those codes out again. Use those and to share with your friends, family members, people that you know. It's greatly appreciated when you do so. It helps me out a great deal. Keeps the lights on here. Family fed, insurance paid, you name it. This show is 100% sponsor and Ohana supported. So make her happen, people. Thank you very much. All right, so over the weekend, busy. A new media show number 200, episode 200 took place. We had Rob Walsh. So it's kind of too interesting. Two Robs, Rob Greenlee from Spreaker, Rob Walsh from Libsyn, and me from Blueberry. And we had a good discussion about some stuff going on in the podcasting space and some business developments and measurement. So that's a good episode to watch if you're so inclined. I worked on the studio here a little bit, primarily cleaned up. I did find my white. So, I was missing my white balance board. And for those of you that are watching, let me show you what this thing looks like. It's massive, but it folds up kind of small, and it goes in a little package. And I couldn't find this thing to save my life. I literally had to go through everything here in the office to find it. I didn't find it. I went to my son's room and I said, "Did you borrow my white balance board?" "No, I don't have it, Dad." And, and I questioned him up and down, one side, the other. So Saturday morning is trash time. So I've got a full trash can in the office and I'm hearing the trash truck coming. So what are you not supposed to do? You're always supposed to bag any kind of trash you got, right? But I'm out of time. So I ran out of the house with the trash. All it's got in it is paper. And I opened my trash bin up and I turned this thing over and I dumped out the trash bin with the, envelopes or whatever in it. And lo and behold, what do I see drop? My white balance whiteboard container. Somehow it ended up in the trash can. I was thrilled that I had found it because I was going to have to go order another one. They're like $30. And I was like, yay, I found it. And then, but then I had to go out afterwards and make sure that when the dump truck or the trash truck came, that we didn't have like letter stuff all over the ground because I hadn't bagged the last bit of trash and, office trash. But luckily that went in clean. I didn't have to do that. So anyway, that's a dumb story, but sometimes you throw stuff in the trash. It's like the second time in a row I put something accidentally in the trash, or it ended up in the trash. The previous one was a check. So yeah, that one luckily I didn't go in the trash either. So the CES videos are, I think, done. At least that's what the team is telling me. We're starting to cross-post them to other sites now. So I think the entire lineup of stuff we did at CES is done, I think, effective yesterday, because the team started putting up regular blog posts today. I did get back to the gym and got some gym workouts in. Oh boy, I could tell I had been away for a little while, longer than I should. So I'm kind of back on schedule on that. What else I have happened? Saturday had my car work done, brakes fixed, $588. And then today I dropped my car off for a recall, a chattering window, and a cruise control that wasn't working. You know, I don't mind not having a car payment, but $1,600 in less than 3 days of car repairs blows. $488 for the switch, and it's like almost no. And I priced it everywhere. I couldn't find it cheaper. Just the cruise control switch to engage, and it's part of the steering wheel. And he said it's in the whole assembly. $488 for that stupid thing. Yes, I need cruise control in Hawaii. Plus, if I ever decide to sell a vehicle, it's gotta work. And then it'll be like $60 labor to put it in. I'm just like, yeah. Anyway, I guess car maintenance is cheaper than car payments. And then Sunday, I took some downtime as well. So all's good here in Geek New Central Land. And off to a good Monday. So I've chit-chatted enough about regular stuff. Let's get into the regular content here. So, hi, Mike. How? Rita. Hello. And yes, ouch. And not only that, so I dropped the car off this morning, and they needed it all day. Shoga was at work. I didn't want to sit there all day. So I had them take me to Enterprise. They had a $35 flat rate fee. Did a whole bunch of running around, getting errands done. They call me, and I'm on the other side of town. They call me about 4, and they say the car's ready. And I said, I can't get back over there in time. They said, well, we'll have you pay over the phone. So and then we'll leave your keys at the sales office. And I'm like, okay, great. And this was at a dealership. So I read my credit card over the telephone. They process my $1,288 or whatever the damage was. And so I get over there about 5:30, and their service department's closed. And I walked in. Well, first of all, I went to Enterprise, dropped my car off, had the shuttle take me back to the car dealership, and roll in with the, my computer bag. And I'm like, hey, I'm so-and-so, and I'm here to pick up my car. And she looks at me. She goes, we don't have your keys. I only had one pickup today, and yours wasn't in. I said, well, I paid my bill about 90 minutes ago, and they said I could pick up the car and the keys would be here. Well, no. I'm like, well, I turned in my rental car. How you going to give me a ride home? And I'm like 12 or 13 miles from my house. And they're looking at me, and I'm like, I said, I'll go sit over in the customer service area and let you guys figure this out. I sat there this is why the show started late tonight. Sat there for about 45 minutes. And my customer rep came in, and he wasn't wearing the same clothes he was wearing this morning. So they called in from home. He went into the shop, got my keys, and brought them up to the sales desk. Oh, I'm sorry. And I'm just like, after the fiasco this morning and getting me to I won't be back to that shop. No, I will not. Yeah. Simple mistake, but cost me 45 minutes. Time is money, folks. All right, so yes, drama. Don't need it. Let's talk just a little bit about what's in the news here. NASA is being accused of hiding evidence of alien life. So, you see these types of articles and you're like, okay, what crackpot today is saying NASA is hiding evidence of alien life, and you expect it to be some whack job that's got some sort of agenda. Well, the more I read this person making this accusation is a doctor, a real doctor, not one that got something out of a Cracker Jack box. And he's associated with a relatively, it's a known university. And he is convinced that the image shared by NASA's Curiosity rover provide the evidence of trace fossils which hint on life on Mars. Those trace fossils, according to him, who is he's a honorary research fellow at University of Buckingham Center for Astrobiology. So someone maybe help me look up if that's the real deal. But usually when you're an honorary research fellow, you're usually kind of smart. But he says that NASA's hiding the smoking gun to Mars, and he has seen pictures from the Curiosity rover that basically looks like fossil history. And he says it's some images that he's seen, and he says those crystals don't add up. They don't branch or twist. We're talking about something that might have been equivalent to the Ordovician period on Earth. Okay, I'm going to guess that was a long time ago. But he is going to produce a paper with a groundbreaking report that might change the way we perceive the red planet. So anyway, is NASA hiding evidence of alien life? Well, based on what I've seen, maybe. Based upon some of the stuff that's been recorded in the International Space Station, maybe. I wouldn't put it past NASA to cover that up. We've got astronauts saying they've seen all kinds of weird things. So if the astronauts are saying it, well, again, based on my life experience, I'm a firm believer that we are not alone. Not from pre-fossil stuff that's been dead for a million years, but I feel that we're not alone actively today. Call me a crackpot, but I truly believe that in the morning to all of you, for those of you that know what that means. And now, moving on here, I'm putting code words in the show. So anyway, what do you guys think? Think NASA? Think they're hiding the proof of alien life? Do you think they're just getting us prepped? Love to hear your feedback. geeknews@gmail.com is the email address to use to tell me your thoughts and processes. Amazon may launch a branded checking account with big banks. They're considering launching a checking account-like product with some banks, to include JP Morgan. The company apparently wants to create a product that will attract a younger demographic, particularly those without bank accounts. Amazon is said to be in early talks with major financial institutions to launch such a product. And while the product might be Amazon branded, it won't necessarily involve Amazon turning into a bank on its own. So here, do you guys and gals know of someone that actually doesn't have a checking account? Is that still a thing today where people are using check cashing services? And to be honest with you, we don't have that here. At least I'm not aware of it in Honolulu. I don't see like what I've seen in the past where you're going down by a strip mall and there's a place that cash checks. Is that still a big thing in the mainland in the lower 48? Is that still is there still a huge percentage of people that don't have checking accounts? I would imagine it would be a relatively small percentage, um, in probably some economic situations where people might not have a checking account. But so, what do you think? How do you think they structure this? So, if someone doesn't have a checking account, what do? They set up a. What would make it different than setting up a regular checking account at a regular bank? I don't know. I've never had a checking account, so and I haven't had to set one up in 30 years because I haven't changed banks per se. Been always part of a credit union, so I think it cost me $5 to open my account at the credit union. So I don't know. I this is something I really don't have any knowledge on. So if you do, I'd love to hear from you. I really would. Mike says, or Rita says, yes, we have them in Los Angeles. Mike says, no checking account needed. It just sucks in money and they issue a card. And they also say, hide money in-house and on personal person. Okay, well, I know some people that operate cash only today, but it's hard to believe that people can get away without. Well, maybe, I guess, could. But if they have to prepay Visa cards or something, but that seems like that would get expensive too. Or you guys know my policy on Walmart, and I'm not a big fan. They're and it's part of America today, but they destroyed Middle America, and literally thousands and thousands of business went extinct because of Walmart. Of course, Amazon's probably doing the same thing at this point. But meal kits have come to Walmart stores as an online grocery service. And of course, on the heels of Amazon's launch of Whole Foods grocery delivery, which I'm not going to use, Walmart today is rolling out a new options for its grocery pickup and delivery service. I didn't even know Walmart had this. Meant to appeal to busy families, they're going to introduce meal kits. The retailer's affordable alternative to meal kit delivery subscriptions like Blue Apron is now available at over 250 stores and is being made available via Walmart's online grocery pickup service. The meal kits will become available to over 2,000 Walmart locations by year end, the company says. The kits are developed by Walmart's Culinary Innovation Center and contain pre-portioned ingredients to accompany the retailer's rotisserie chicken or help customers prepare a quick meal without having to chop vegetables, combine ingredients, and odd seasoning. I've never been to a Walmart that sells rotisserie chicken. I've been to Costco that does, or Sam's, but not Walmart. Similar to the meal kits found at most groceries today, Walmart meal kits are prepared fresh daily in the store and are sold in the deli. The meals are designed to serve 2 people and will range between $8 and $15. So in Hawaii, that'll be $15 to $30. The kits include Thai curry chicken and chicken fried rice, steak Dijon, basic basil garlic chicken, sweet chili chicken stir fry, and pork Florentine, as well as one-step meals, chicken Alfredo, cheesy ravioli bake, meatloaf, spaghetti and meatballs, chicken parmesan, pulled beef, chicken marsala, oh, awesome, chicken curry, pot roast, and chicken enchiladas. So that's a pretty good menu. Huh. I could really do the chicken marsala. I love chicken marsala. So some entries here that sound good. We'll have to look at the calorie counts on these bad boys too to see where they fit in. But $8 to $15? Interesting. I'm going to be honest with you. It's probably going to be healthier than eating out. A lot of people eat out now, and it's so, man, here, now I think it's nationwide, but here in Hawaii, the menus all have calorie counts on them, and just blows me away. I look at a menu and I look at the calorie amounts on certain meals, and it just sets you back in your seat. You would never imagine. When we were at Universal Studios, big mistake. We ate at The one meal we had was bad, was Margaritaville. And the food was horrible. I mean, horrible with a capital H. Ugh. It was, ugh. And they played Margaritaville about every 10 minutes. I'll never, ever, ever in my lifetime go back to that restaurant. But anyway, they had calorie counts on their menus, and it was just mind-boggling. Some of the entrees were 2,000, 2,500 calories. You just never know what you're eating. And stuff that you would thought would be a healthy entree was nowhere near 1,700 calories. It's going to hurt restaurants that put these calorie counts on their menus, because we're all going to be like, whoa, and we're going to start making different choices. They're going to be forced to have better choices on the menu, because people are going to stop buying those 2,500 or 2,000 calorie meals when they go eat places, because just seeing it in your face makes a whole world of difference. It really, really does. And it shows you how really bad and how unhealthy it is to eat out as much as they do. So we hope that these meal kits will have portions that don't blow the calorie counter off the face of the earth. So we'll see. We'll see as it develops. So we've already seen that the kiosks are here in Hawaii. My son wanted some McDonald's 2-3 weeks ago or something. We stopped somewhere and went in. The drive-thru was too long, and walked in, and there was a kiosk there to order food. And I thought, aha, bada bing, bada boom, put the order in and went to the counter and picked our food up, and we were out of there. It was better than dealing with someone that seems to always get the order wrong. So we know that kiosks are starting to invade McDonald's. Well, robots are here to take over your burger flipping job. So we thought that this job would be safe, and but it's not true. Robots are poised to do a lot of the work that humans do now and in the future, and that's going to threaten jobs for tens of millions of people. And one of the most popular unskilled jobs is manning the burger grill. And but they've got a new robot. It can handle up to 12 burgers at once. That may not be enough for most stores, but it could ultimately. The robot may have begun work in just one location in Pasadena right now, but it's been installed by California-based burger chain Cali Burger. The chain plans on installing Flippy, what they call it, in 50 locations in the near future. So here you've got a robot that's going to be flipping burgers. Each flipping burger robot costs $6,000 and costs $12,000 per year to operate. It's meant to operate as an assistant initially, but the tech behind it would evolve over time. So let's do the math on that. So if you amortize that over 5 years, that's $1,200 that they can write off a year on that machine, and then the cost of it can be completely written off. That's $12,000. So about $1,000 a month. How much does an average? Let's just use $15 as the salary range. So someone that is working at the $15 level, 40 hours a week, that's $600, right? I'll do my low-level math here. $2,400. So that, and this thing can work more than 8 hours. This thing easily pays for itself. If we're talking about an employee that's costing $15 an hour. So if they get this thing faster, they're still going to need someone to interact with it and so forth. But just a matter of time before someone's on the fry machine too, right? So it makes you go, just a little bit. Mike says the savings on not having to deal with an idiot teen is already saved. Now, let me be honest with you. You go into fast food places today, it's not teenagers. There's some teenagers working at those fast food places. but there's a lot of middle-aged and sometimes elderly people working at fast food now. Those jobs are no longer exclusively for teenagers. Just go into any fast food place and just look around a little bit. Now, I'm not talking about the manager. I'm talking about everyone working there. And at least here in Hawaii, I see a few teenagers working fast food, but it's a lot of middle-aged people working as well. So again, some people have, again, it's an economic, socioeconomic thing, but a lot of people are working fast food as their regular full-time job. And this is where people are having trouble. There's not a living wage there at all. Nothing that they, not even close. Okay, so this next one, you in the UK are going to love this. So UK customers can break ISP contracts over slow speeds. Do you have to have a contract in the UK? In the UK, broadcast regulator Ofcom has announced that starting from the 1st of March 2019, UK ISPs must provide customers with more realistic figures when it comes to speed, especially during peak time. They'll be given 30 calendar days to improve internet speed should it fall below a minimum guarantee level, in which failing to do so will allow customers to break their contract with the ISP without incurring any penalties. As it stands, customers already have the right. However, at the moment, ISPs do not have a fixed time to resolve the issues, which means that in theory, ISPs could keep telling customers they're working on it indefinitely, thus preventing customers from exiting their contracts unless they're willing to pay a penalty for doing so. Does anybody here sign a contract for internet service? Anybody having to sign like a 12-month minimum? I don't know of that here in the United States. I really don't. Maybe that's the case for new signups. I'm not sure, to get a lower price maybe. But I didn't know contracts were for internet service. A Malaysian Apple reseller canceled a sale after they offered 200 devices at about $50 a piece. So this company was going to be selling iPhone models 5S to 7, iPad minis and Pros, Apple TVs, MacBooks, iMacs, and iPod Touches at the $50 level. And basically, these were all in-store demo units. They only had 200 units. Now, when people hear about a deal like this, they go crazy. Enthusiastic buyers lined up at the mall 19 hours before the door opened. Before they opened and before they called the sale off because they were going to get mobbed, they had 11,000 people in line. 11,000 people in line for 200 devices. Wow. Now that's a sale. And there probably would have been riots. Think about that. Only 200 units and 11,000 people showed up. Maybe they should have said that in their merchandising. Charter has appealed a recent loss in the New York Supreme Court. That ruling established that Charter could face a lawsuit from the state of New York. The original lawsuit was filed by Eric Schinderman against Charter and its Time Warner Cable subsidiary, Spectrum, and alleged that Charter had been advertising internet speeds it could not deliver. We're not surprised that they have appealed this. This was, they said they would. So we'll see where this goes. So this will continue in the court system, at least for the near future. There's a lot of ways, sadly, to die. You can get hit by a car. That happens a lot here in Hawaii. A drunk driver hit 2 people the other night that were changing a tire. 21-year-old young lady has had her first court appearance this afternoon here in Honolulu. So that's one way to go, sadly. But a 55-year-old woman died after a wind-blown beach umbrella hit her in the chest. So it said that there was enough wind that it hit her with about 800 pounds of force. It broke a rib and did some other damage, but it put her into cardiac. Basically, she died from it. And the umbrella tip stabbed her in the chest. It didn't cut on her arteries, but it hit with so much force that it killed her. So watch out for flying umbrellas, folks. You just never know. It's sad. It really is. But it's just like, you've got a 2-year-old, a little girl that was in a shoe store. And this is unimaginable. A mirror fell on her and killed her. It's just a lot of freak stuff is happening right now. Be careful out there, people. Please, please, please. They say over 1,000 people die because of contact with a powered lawnmower between 1999 and 2016. It just seems unimaginable, but all kinds of crazy stuff out there. So I know many of you, it's still snowing or cold and you're not worried about getting your lawnmower out, but it just goes to show you just never know. So keep your eyes open, all right? Hey, MoviePass wants in on your every aspect of your movie night because they've got you as customers now. They've got your address. They've got your, your usage habits. So don't be surprised when you start getting mailings from MoviePass partners for discounts at restaurants and a variety of different offerings. So that's probably going to be coming soon to your mailbox. So just be aware of that for those of you that signed up for MoviePass. If they help you save money, I think it's pretty awesome. It really is. I know many of you probably have never flown on Emirates. I've seen some YouTube videos of Emirates first class that is like, wow. But for most of us, the $11,000 one-way ticket on an Emirates first class, none of us will ever be able to afford. But airline websites typically are not known for having lots of security risks. The exception is Emirates.com has an incredible amount of security issues. So much so that they have been outed in a blog post over at freecodecamp.org. And it details just how bad it is over there. To the point where date of births, passport numbers, account numbers, addresses, basically all your personal information is easily seen, shared with multiple partners. They share their data for your transaction with as many as 28 different companies, so that when you're getting ready to go fly, everybody and their brother knows that you're going to be on this flight. If you're booking through Emirates, including Facebook and a variety of other different services. So just be aware. This is, if Emirates don't make a change after this article, I'm going to be shocked. But they completely ignored the security suggestions that were given by people that have basically dissected their website to the point where they've got a real problem. And we'll look for follow-up articles on this. But I think if you read this and go through it, you'll just shake your head. And if you were considering flying on Emirates, you may want to reconsider, at least until they get their bugs or their holes or their security issues wrapped up. March Madness starts shortly. I'm not a basketball person, so I don't go crazy over March Madness. But Pizza Hut's latest pizza ordering shoes can also pause your TV. And if you're one of those folks that just really are bummed out because your shoes can't order pizza for you, Pizza Hut is bringing back its pie top sneakers, which you can order pizza at the press of a button thanks to a Bluetooth connection with your phone and your shoes. Not only that, but the shoes can also pause your TV when your pizza's at the front door. I'm not kidding. Pizza Hut and the shoe surgeon will make 50 pairs of these shoes available on hbx.com beginning the week of March 19th. And you may be able to win or buy a pair. What a stupid Kimmy, I'm going to tell you, this is a D with a capital. This is dumb with a capital D. It really, really is. All right, Lyft has made a deal with Allscripts, lets 180,000 doctors call rides for their patients. So last week, Uber announced it was rolling out a service that aimed at healthcare providers. Lyft announced Monday that it's expanding its partnership with healthcare providers to provide the ride-hailing service to doctors and hospitals who want to arrange transportation for patients who can't get to appointments. So that's cool. So Lyft, check. We'll see if Uber can do checkmate. Parents, you can now block individual shows and movies on Netflix. Matter of fact, I was in the living room on Sunday afternoon, and my son was perusing Netflix, and I typically don't have parental control set on Netflix because we're typically there, and he selected a movie, did a preview, and I'm like, nope. You're not going to watch that. And he's 14. Dad, I'm like, nope. I've seen this movie before. Not appropriate. No way, no how. And he's like, come on. I'm like, no, no is a no. So, and I haven't had to really do a bunch of parental blocking. And, but I asked him to bring his laptop to me, and he did. And sure enough, he had Netflix set up to log in via his laptop. So much to his chagrin, and this wasn't before this new parental control come in, I set his profile and I basically tightened it up a little bit. So, but these new parental controls, you can now set pins to restrict playback of certain titles. You can restrict by maturity levels. In other words, you can pick little kids, older kids, teens, and you can even pick adult. And you can restrict specific titles, and regardless of maturity rating. And that got enacted on one series he was watching that I wasn't aware of. So got to make sure you're checking everywhere, folks. I was a little bit lacking and had to tighten up the access just a little bit. Pennsylvania Attorney General says Uber must pay up over data breach. They said that Uber engaged in outrageous corporate misconduct when it waited more than a year to disclose a massive hack, the Attorney General says, and how much they got to pay. They want $13.5 million in penalties from Uber, so we'll see where this goes. But, not announcing the hack. They're going to pay big. This past Friday, I was late in the afternoon, and Mike Dell texted me, and my team was still at Proclaim 18. They were just wrapping up, and Mike Dell, my customer support senior customer support rep, texts me, says, "Hey, we've got a problem. One of the servers is really slow or not responding," and the majority of the Blueberry infrastructure, for the multitude of servers and so forth we have run in the cloud. The large majority of it, just to run the size of operation that we do, I think we've got close to 30 servers that are running and monitoring services. And as soon as a server starts being sluggish, the monitoring service that we pay for sends text to phone, starts sending emails, starts sending alerts in our Slack channel, so we know when there's an issue. And I didn't happen to have my phone really on me at the time, and heard it ringing and picked it up, and basically he had let me know that we're suffering some situation. And so Angelo was in Louisville, and I immediately called him and said, "Hey, we got a problem," and he wasn't any place where he could load a laptop to check out what's going on. And the other gal that is one of the server managers, she was en route somewhere else. She just left work, and So we were kind of along for the ride for the first 20 or 25 minutes before I could get my team really to look at what's going on. And we initially thought it was a denial of service attack. We thought that we were getting hammered. It had all the indications of a denial of service attack, but once the devs got into the log files, there was nothing unusual in the log files that indicated a denial of service attack. So I'm scratching my head a little bit and really not even thinking about an Amazon outage. And because usually when they have an outage, it's out. Things just don't slow down. But for about 30 minutes or so on Friday, the Amazon data center that we have all the Blueberries, well, a lot of the Blueberry servers in, was suffering an outage. Now I've got failover where stuff starts to take over in case, but these servers weren't going completely down. They were just slowing down to the point, and we set up our triggers set up so when the servers goes down, then the other servers take over, not when the servers get slow, which is now something we're going to have to look at. But it was just because of the Amazon outage that stuff was not as responsive as it was supposed to be. Turns out a lot of other people had issues too. Alexa briefly lost its voice, and some other services had some troubles as well. So it's just one of those things about operating in the cloud that you kind of have to deal with. When a data center goes down, you hope that all of your planning you put in place gets you into recovery pretty quickly. But in this case, we had never suffered in all these years like a slowdown. We had outages. When outages happen, then within 3 minutes, boom, everything in my system kicks over to another data center and we're good. But this was just slow responsive, and we really didn't have a good plan for that. So you learn something every time. And a lot of people were trying to talk to their Amazon devices and they were not working. But, after about, believe it or not, what killed me and Amazon was having trouble was Twitter. I saw something on Twitter. I was like, stand down, guys, relax. It's Amazon having an issue. And then we forced the machines. We basically went in, we were able to flip a switch in the system and force them into go on to our failsafe servers until they fully recovered, which actually about the time we flipped the switch into failsafe was about the time Amazon recovered. But we ran that way for a couple of hours before switching back. Have you ever run into a door, sliding glass door, that you thought was open but was closed? Have you ever run into a glass door anywhere? Well, at least 3 Apple employees have been hurt, so hurt bad enough that they had to call 911 to have medical assistance because they keep running into the beautiful glass walls that Amazon keeps squeaky clean, and people don't know that there's glass there. So some employees resorted to sticking yellow sticky notes on the panels, but they were moved as they distracted from the building's design. But apparently, Apple's now relented and put rectangular stickers on some of the glass doors to try and limit further injury. It already uses similar stickers on glass doors in some of its retail stores across the globe. So it hurts when you get whacked by one of those. I don't think I've ever walked into a door, but I have walked into an aircraft flap before. Hey, Waze Carpool users can now choose who they ride with. I didn't even know they had this. Waze has updated their Carpool app, giving drivers and riders more control over who they'll be sharing a ride with. If you're not familiar with the app, Waze Carpool sets up drivers and riders who are headed in the same direction, and those behind the wheel get a bit of cash from the individuals they're transporting. The fees are low since they're meant just to cover driving costs, not be a source of income. The app is meant to encourage ride sharing. So with this update, Carpool users will no longer be blindly matched. Instead, using star ratings, profile information, and connections to your job or friends, you can choose who you'll be riding with. Those with routes most similar to yours will appear at the top of your list. Additionally, users can now filter rides by gender or choose to ride with coworkers only and can send multiple ride or driver requests in order to up their chances of finding a carpool match. It's pretty cool. Any of you using that? How's your experience been? geeknews@gmail.com. Several big tech companies, including Etsy, Kickstarter, Automatic's the company behind WordPress, Foursquare, and Shutterstock, filed a petition today with the Court of Appeals in this DC Circuit against the Federal Communication Commission's decision to end net neutrality. These companies are the latest that are assembling under a new banner, the Coalition for Internet Openness. The effort follows other actions by various tech lobbying groups. Back in January, we'll know that the Internet Association, which represents Amazon, Google, and Facebook, joined an existing lawsuit against the FCC. Now more tech companies are putting on pressure and trying to get this overturned. As an example, Netflix could have to pay broadband providers like Comcast and Verizon for better access to compete. That type of deal frightens tech companies, from tech giants to little startups, since it can jeopardize innovation. And exactly that kind of scenario happened before net neutrality rules were implemented in 2015. So we'll see where this leads, but we'll see where the judges fall on this one. Bentley's first plug-in hybrid is an ultra-luxurious SUV. What does a Bentley even cost? It's one of those vehicles where I guess if you have to ask, you probably can't afford it. Let me see if I can find a price tag on this. No, there's no price on it. I guess it's when they say luxury and they compare it to a Tesla model, that probably means it's pretty pricey. So anyway, a link will be up in the show notes. If you can afford a Bentley, they do have a hybrid now available for you, all right? Spotify is emailing a warning to pirates that are using hacked apps. People who access Spotify using hacked apps that remove some of the restrictions placed on free accounts are receiving warning emails from the company, noting that the abnormal activity has been observed from the user's software. Spotify warns that future breaches could result in suspension or even termination of a user account. Not come as a surprise. You'll soon be able to get Geek News Central on Spotify. Keep looking for it, please. Some scientists are complaining that SpaceX Falcon Heavy and Elon Musk Tesla Roadster could contaminate other planets with dangerous Earth bacteria. You knew it was only a matter of time. Someone was going to complain about this. They say in a million years, that car may crash into Pluto or maybe crash back on Earth. And that we probably need to figure out how to warn someone in the future. Really? Really? Scientists were saying just a little while ago that within a year, nothing will be left of the car. It'll be destroyed. So, what is it? Okay. All right. Anyway, bacteria on the Roadster. There's a report out that Apple's planning a cheaper MacBook Air. The existing $999 MacBook Air is expected to refresh with a lower price point before the end of June. So we'll see. We'll see where this leads. But as 9to5Mac reports, KGI Securities analyst Ming-Chin Kuo, who's been pretty good about this predictions, released a couple investor notes late last week, among which he predicts Apple will launch the cheaper MacBook. At what price, we do not know. But cheaper than $1,000. So time will tell. Facebook did something kind of stupid. Now, if you're going to run a poll, that's cool to run a poll. But think about this question. Facebook asked users. Now, this is a question that should be asked, right? All right, I'm just going to read it. Facebook asked users whether they want child grooming to be allowed on the site. Selected user asked how they think Facebook should set the rules on whether adults can ask minors. Get this. Selected users were asked how they think Facebook should set the rules on whether adults can ask minors for sexually explicit photos which is a crime, and whether if they controlled Facebook, they would let such messages be allowed, which is also a crime. They asked this question. And one question Facebook asked, in thinking about an ideal world where you could set Facebook policies, how would you handle the following? A private message which an adult man asks a 14-year-old girl for sexual pictures. The multiple choice answers included, this content should be allowed on Facebook and I would not mind seeing it. And this content should not be allowed on Facebook and no one should be able to see it. Such a message is just about illegal almost anywhere in the world. Why? Who thought this up? Who thought this up? Did Facebook respond? Yes, in a statement, a Facebook spokesperson told Business Insider that child grooming is banned on Facebook and has no plans to change that. He says, we sometimes ask for feedback from people about community standards and the types of content that they would find most concerning on Facebook. We understand the survey refers to offensive content that is already prohibited on Facebook, and we have no intention of allowing, so have stopped the survey. Can you imagine? Can you imagine even being asked this question? This boggles my mind. Who's getting fired? Who's getting fired at Facebook? Did someone even think that this was acceptable? Why would you ask this question? An adult asking a 14-year-old for sexually explicit pictures? That's immediate go to jail. That's immediately be locked up as you are a very high potential of being a sexual predator. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Someone formed that question and asked it. Mind-boggling. Truly mind-boggling. Those, I saw, I don't know if I have it in the links tonight, but I saw an article today that discussed, it's not an article I have in the stack tonight, but I should have it. It's an article that talked about a venture capitalist that traveled through middle America, and they were astonished about the attitudes, astonished about the cost of living, astonished that middle America actually had restaurants and activities that they would expect to find on the coast. They were astonished to find that middle America had farmers markets. These were things they were blown away by. They visited Detroit, they visited Akron, Ohio, Youngstown, a variety of different locations. And they were astonished that middle America cities had all these conveniences. And I was frankly a bit astonished that these venture capitalists who spend most of their time in the San Francisco area would have absolutely no clue how the rest of the country is. They're rich beyond their means. They have the ability to travel and see amazing locations that most of us can never go to. Yet they had no clue how middle America works. And when you see a survey question on Facebook asking whether or not an adult man should be allowed to ask a 14-year-old girl for sexual pictures, they have lost their minds and touch with the rest of the country. it just maybe I'm over exaggerating this a little, and maybe it was a stupid mistake, but if you don't travel in middle America, if you don't understand what the rest of the country is besides the two coasts, you need to get out a little bit, do a road trip, and see how middle America has grown up. It's just ridiculous. It really, really, really is. Okay, Google's testing real-time background removal for YouTube videos. It's a new feature coming to YouTube Stories. Yes, it'll automatically replace your background without a green screen. It's called YouTube Real-Time Mobile Video Segmentation. It results similar to chroma keying, but doesn't rely on a background that is of uniform color. So that's kind of cool. And it's basically targeting Snapchat and a variety of other services. I just want you to give you, probably funny faces and all kinds of weird stuff, weird backgrounds. So link will be up in the show notes on that. Nest is not real happy with Amazon. Amazon has told Google Nest near the end of last year that it would no longer be listing any of Nest's newer products. Their products include a new smart thermostat, home security products, and other home appliances because it's competing with Amazon's own stuff. So they're restricting what Google can put and sell on Amazon. Interesting, huh? Skype for Android has been optimized for lower-end devices. In recent times, we started to see how developers are creating versions of apps designed for devices that are not as powerful as the higher-end $1,000 mobile phones, or for phones in countries whose networks are not as fast. Imagine that. This is a strategy that's paid off big time, such as Facebook, whose Messenger Lite app crossed 100 million installs. So Microsoft's trying to do something as well and announced an update to its Skype messaging app, where in its latest update, Microsoft has made the app optimized for lower-end Android handsets. Fantastic. So if you have a lower-end Android headset, you might run Skype a little better. Okay, House of Cards teaser. And I think I've watched one episode of House of Cards before when Spacey was on. But the sixth and final season of House of Cards doesn't hit screens until the fall of this year. But it appears that Claire Underwood is taking charge. So what are they going to do? Are they going to off Spacey in the video? How are they getting rid of him? That's the question. How are they going to get rid of that guy? Well, it'll be fun to see that episode. Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus, first impressions, it's proved upon the S8 where it was needed, supposedly. They've improved super slow-mo. It's better in low light. Has an AR emoji. Has Bixby Vision, Bixby. Bixby continues to be a challenge for Samsung, but when spend focused time with Bixby, they understand its useful and capability, according to this reviewer. So, excuse me. So anyway, they got a good review of the S9. And there's a review about should you get a Galaxy S9 Plus or the Pixel 2 XL. There's a head-to-head comparison on that. Finally, tonight, some deals. Amazon Kids Edition Fire tablets are starting at $70 right now. So if you're looking for a kid's tablet, this might be something to pick up. Also, the DJI Mavic drone is down to its lowest price at $769. That price is the lowest ever on the base model, which usually sells for around $900 and goes as high as $1,000. So $769 for the DJI Mavic Pro. I love this drone. It is by far the best drone on the market. It really, really is. And pick up a Tech Life digital tire inflator for only $14. And so if you just set your pressure, you plug it into your cigarette lighter, you hook up to your tire, and it inflates your tire to the pressure you want it, and it automatically shuts off. So there's some deals for you here tonight on the show. And with that savings, you can become a Geek News Central insider at geeknewscentral.com/insider. Help support the show with $2, $5, $10, $15, $25 a month of ongoing monthly support. Be greatly appreciated. All right, this can bring us to the end. I do have some email. Let me see what I've got, if I can find the right page. Here we go. Got an email from Andy. And of course, Andy's a doctor, surgeon. He said, I would definitely ride along if Uber paid me. Also, Uber should offer ride-alongs for air travel for physicians. Wish I could throw that idea to them. Interesting. So why would, if you did a ride-along, I know that they're allowing doctors to order Ubers for their patients, but what do you mean, Andy, by doing a ride-along? Did I miss something? Okay. So Jack has got he's working on me here a little bit. So Todd, I'm not a grammar guy, but a couple of phrases in your GNC opening are distracting logic duplicates. I don't know if other listeners noticed, but since I did, here's a critique for you. He says, in your opening, when you say the stories that lead the show are as follows, everything you say after that naturally follows. I would suggest you say the stories that lead the show are, or the lead stories are. Now, when you do list the stories, you say, we are going to talk about eBay, we're going to talk about Uber, we're going to talk about et cetera, et cetera. I would suggest you start every story topic with just a story, like you do the first stories, and drop we're going to talk about. That is obvious. This saves time, this is cleaner, and much more to the point. For example, the lead stories are a caution for you on buying a Mac, eBay $10 specials, Uber Health, the Samsung Galaxy 9, and all the news of the day. These are suggestions for you to use or not, all in the name of improving GNC. Jack, your back office producer. Love it, Jack. Yes, very good. And we've had one other person make that suggestion as well, Michael Dare. So the two of you are on the same page, Jack. So I will look at that closely. So I did get a comment from one of our listeners. It was about my Facebook post crying about pushing the burden onto our children. So I basically had said in a Facebook post that I've had a lot of people tell me they are thrilled that they are getting more money in their paycheck. I've noticed that people are getting anywhere from $100 to $200 more per month in their paycheck, and they are absolutely thrilled and not complaining about the tax rebate. Now, irregardless of your tax is your politics, my situation is this. This is the way Todd thinks. I can use my money that I earn a lot more effectively than the government can. When I say I don't care about the debt, really, I do care about the debt. But let's be honest. Politicians don't care about the debt. None of them have cared about the debt. 201, not a one, has cared about the debt. Someone's going to send me an article that says, oh, look what this person did, or look what that person did, and they really didn't raise the debt. The debt has continued to go up, no matter what. Okay? So until politicians start caring about the debt, I'm not going to worry about the debt. And if I get more money in my paycheck because of a lower tax rate, I can use that money to spend or save or to invest as I see fit, which I feel is a much better utilization of my cash than what the government would spend that money on. So there was a very vocal individual who is a friend of mine in the Facebook post that was basically telling me that I was ignorant in thinking that way, that I shouldn't be worried about, I should be worried about my children's future and the debt that they have. The debt's been here forever, okay? And again, until the government starts worrying about it, I'm not going to worry about it. I'll take the money that they're going to allow me to keep, and I'm going to spend it as I see fit. So there's some other stuff in this post I can't repeat on the show, but that's the gist. But for our Akamai listener, thank you for coming to my defense via email. I do appreciate it very much. So anyway, that's it for the show. And at this point, you all have left because I see we get to about the 98% mark and people leave. We're going to have to start doing some things to keep you to stay at the end. But I thank you all for being here. And if you have comments on today's show, geeknews@gmail.com. It's been my pleasure to bring you the show. If you had a good time, good time bringing it to you. And we'll see everyone back here on Thursday. And of course, definitely stay subscribed to the show. Become an insider if you so feel the desire to do so. Your contributions help in a big, big way. They really do. They help pay the production bill. It doesn't cover it all, but pays part of the production bill here at Geek News Central. Needless to say, I did the total post-production costs for all, just to give you guys an idea. So all the CES videos that went up, that were posted, the total post-production cost was about, including video editing, posting, was about $3,000. So that gives you guys some insight into just what the post-production cost to get the CES post up online, produced, ran. So it's real money that it costs to run the show here. And just wanted to, kind of give you some insight into the true dollar amounts that I'm putting forth to bring you great content at geeknewscentral.com. Not to mention this show and everything that I do here. And of course, working with Kirk in the executive producer position and getting the show prep done and helping with finding articles and so forth. But that's it for tonight, everyone. Thanks. We'll see you. We'll be back here Thursday. Everyone, take care. Please support the sponsor and think about becoming an insider. We'll see you next time. Aloha.